you also have to be able to look them directly in the eye when you want to do business with them. I remember my first sales call 109 years ago at least. At least. And my manager sent me out to this guy's office. This was in New York. So I go into the office and I sit down and I'm having a conversation with this guy, and I think I'm doing a really great job. I really do. I was really feeling pumped about it. I was psyched. I knew I was going to get this deal on the first call, and it was a big deal. So we're getting to the end now, and of course there's always a next action step. So I asked him for the business. And he said, no, we're not going to do business. And I looked at him, I said, what? He says, no. And he stood up and he walked me over to the door. He's throwing me out of his office, right? So I put my hand on the doorknob because I didn't know what to do. And I turned around and I walked right by him and I sat back down in the chair. And he looked at me and I said, I got to make a living doing this. You're my first sales call ever. Tell me why we're not doing business. Because I got another appointment in 45 minutes and I need to know what I did wrong. He says, you only did one thing wrong. I said, what's that? He says, you didn't demonstrate to me how much you cared about me. I said, how didn't I do that? He said, you didn't have great eye contact. So I put my head between my legs and I left and I went back to the office. Manager says, how'd you do? I says, I didn't get the deal. He said, really, why? And I told him why. He says, go back over there again and get the deal. So I did what he told me. I went back over to the office. His secretary let me into his office. He says, so you talked to Bob? I says, yeah. That's the sales manager. He says, and you told him what I told you? I said, yeah, that's why I'm back here. And I'm like lasered in on him now, you know. It's like stalking him, right? You know. He says, okay, and he gave me the deal. So I go running back to the office after I thanked him and asked him for a referral. And I go running back to the office, and I got the purchase order in my hand, and I give it to my boss. He says, great. I says, yeah, he was really happy. I says, and I really laser focused in on him. He says, I know. He says, he called me to tell me about that. I says, wait a minute, was this a setup? He said, yeah, you had a word. He set me up.